Promise strength.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's going on YouTube, Facebook, subscribers, and viewers of this video? This is Bill Mack here once again with Pro Wrestling Unleashed. This episode is the SmackDown Live in review here, folks. SmackDown Live review. I am here. We had a great show as it was the second night of the Superstar Shakeup. What wrestlers would be from Raw to that come from Raw to SmackDown Live? Who would we get that would make that jump from the red to blue tonight, folks? It would all be summed up in all. We had a few surprises tonight, and we had a great main event. Yeah, we'll just jump right on into it, into this episode for you. It was a really good episode. I enjoyed it a whole lot, and I hope you folks like and enjoy my my videos like this. And I don't get a lot of views, but I hope those that do view my video, hope you like the video. I try to give the matches and description of the matches, what happened. I don't try to spend all day explaining it to you. Just to try to be cut and dry with it, give you the basics of what happened, and I hope you enjoy those, folks. I went on drag out a 40, 50-minute video. SmackDown Live opened up tonight, and out of nowhere, right off the bat, just like we seen on Raw, SmackDown Live begins. All of a sudden, United States Champion Kevin Owens, folks. Kevin Owens is now on the blue brand. He came out, had shaved his beard, mustache, everything. Come out there, was dressed up in a suit, and he had the U.S. Championship with him. He told and welcomed the viewers. He said, "Welcome, folks, to the new Kevin Owens show," that he was the biggest acquisition of the night that they could possibly make. And, folks, I am one to agree with that. I feel like Kevin Owens is a big plus to have on the blue brand. So, welcome, Kevin Owens, to the blue brand. Now, he challenged anyone in the back, and then Baron Corbin had made his appearance to answer that challenge to Kevin Owens, which I'm beginning to, I think, Baron Corbin, within the last few weeks to close to a month, has been getting a pretty good push. His character's starting to come in, and he's beginning to be that believable heel. So he comes in and basically answers the challenge and said he still owed a title shot to a title since Dean Ambrose left and jumped ship to Raw. Kevin Owens having that secondary title on SmackDown that he feels like he deserves a shot. So then all of a sudden, Sami Zayn's music hits. So just like whenever Mickie James followed Alexa to Raw from SmackDown, we see Sami Zayn coming over to the blue brand. Sami Zayn, folks, also makes that jump from Raw to the blue brand. The blue brand, and I feel like this was a good, this will be a great addition to SmackDown. Sami wasn't used much on Raw. Raw is a totally different show than SmackDown. SmackDown's about wrestling. I feel like creative will let Sami put on the wrestling moves he can and put on a good show, and indeed he will pay off sooner rather than later. So then he revealed that he had came from to SmackDown Live from Raw. And then he starts talking, and AJ comes out, of course, the phenomenal one, Mr. AJ Styles, AJ. He comes out, and he announces that he is staying on the blue brand, which he made that a point last week. As you remember, he shook hands with Shane, buried the hatchet, said SmackDown was his place. He wanted to be there. He wasn't going anywhere, and he said he was staying on the blue brand. So here now, as you see here in the picture, in the picture here, you see all four of these guys were in the ring. Well, Daniel Bryan comes out, and Daniel Bryan said that since Kevin Owens is scheduled to defend the United States Championship at Payback, which is a Raw exclusive pay-per-view, he said he can't defend the title. But what we can have is, since you other three are in here tonight, we're going to have a #1 contenders match. It's going to be AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin, and the winner of that match, whoever wins between Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho will stay on the blue brand. So, but we all kind of know from Waypoints is telling us that Kevin Owens is more than likely going to retain that title, be on the blue brand, because Chris Jericho is on his way out to begin getting ready for his tour with his band Fozzy for the foreseeable future. So that started off really good. Got the crowd in a yes chant. Went to the back, went to commercial. Now, then we come back from break. We see a matchup between Eric Rowan making his singles debut against the WWE World Champion over on SmackDown, Randy Orton. Remember last week, Eric Rowan was in a tag match, and he came back and tried to attack Randy Orton from behind at the beginnings, making his appearance back. So this is a one-on-one match. Of course, we know this was a non-title match, and Rings were going Randy's way until Bray Wyatt came on the Titantron there on the screen, and he was talking and Randy and told him he was everywhere, basically, and then trying to further along their storyline for their matchup. Since both guys are no longer in the same brand, they've got to do some way of continuing that storyline, even though they're on separate brands now. So then, while Randy gets distracted, he goes to the outside. Eric Rowan hits him with stairs and automatically draws the disqualification. And then Rowan ends up hitting Randy Orton with a full Nelson slam after that. So that kind of carries further on along, since there was no clean pin here, no clean win between Eric Rowan and Randy Orton. I don't think this is the last we've seen of that. Up next, we have a Tag Team SmackDown Championship matchup. We have the champions, the Usos of the SmackDown brand, taking on American Alpha, who remained on SmackDown Live after the Superstar Shakeup. Great to see that. And basically, it was a good back and forth matchup. We see the Usos end up winning, getting the super kick and the splash on the Chad Gable. But that wasn't the end of the match. We see after the match, all of a sudden, the Shining Stars appear out of nowhere. They jump and attack American Alpha from behind. And so this kind of lets us know, hey, the next jump from Raw to SmackDown is the tag team of Epica and Primo, the Shining Stars. Now maybe they'll get a good push in the weaker SmackDown tag team division, which the superior one is Raw. And I feel like that Epica and Primo may get a push with them in that. So it's just remains to be seen, or unless they falter down, which I think they'll get a good push because, like I said just now, the SmackDown division is tag team division is a little bit weak. So we see them come in. So up next, we see a rematch. Mojo Rawley taking on the newest member of the SmackDown Live brand, again, mid-Carter, Jinder Mahal. And we showed what happened at WrestleMania. They showed that where Rob Gronkowski got into the matchup after Jinder knocked threw his cup of beer at him. He got interjected into the matchup. Mojo Rawley won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So we cut to the matchup, and Mahal had announced earlier in the day on Twitter and challenged Mojo Rawley before SmackDown went on air. That's how come he kind of basically made his way through social media and letting know that he was making his jump to the SmackDown brand, to the blue brand. So once again, they're going at it. Once again, folks, Rob Gronkowski is in the crowd again, and he was watching his buddy Mojo Rawley, and Jinder Mahal went over and started fussing with him and stuff, and Mojo hit Jinder, and then we see Rob Gronkowski throw a beer in Jinder's face, and then Mojo takes him back into the ring, and he ends up hitting his running punch, which you literally heard all throughout the crowd, throughout the arena. I mean, it was a loud hit. He hit that running punch on him. The 1, 2, 3. Your winner is Mojo Rawley. And how does he celebrate that, folks? He celebrates that by jumping into the crowd with the Gronkowskis, who were all there at ringside, and enjoying that. So we're seeing that kind of celebrity Mojo Rawley, that friendship they have, and bringing that to WWE, which will give it limelight and in the sports world. So good marketing plan to have Rob Gronkowski, and plus Gronk likes it. So great for that to happen. Up next up, folks, we see that Shane McMahon comes into the ring. Shane is the commissioner of SmackDown Live, and he tries to give his state of the women's division and what's going on. And before we touch into that, folks, we're going to take a quick pause, and then we'll be right back. So Shane says we're going to look at the state of what's going on with the women's division. And we are glad for those that have made the impact that they have on SmackDown Live and those that have went over. But now we're going to introduce a couple of our own acquisitions onto the SmackDown Women's Division. So then he goes on. He mentions a next generation. This is a second generation wrestler. Father's a legend. World, this, that, and the other. And everybody starts chanting Charlotte, Charlotte. But it ends up being Tamina, and Tamina wasn't one that I had heard even mention coming back. But Tamina makes her reappearance. So Tamina is, I guess, she's kind of SmackDown's answer to Nia Jax. Tamina's this. She's Snuka's daughter. She's big, strong looking. She was a bodyguard when she was on Raw. So Tamina is, and then and then Shane teases and says, "I thought you must have thought I was talking about someone else." And he said, "Well, maybe you're right." So then he introduces, and lo and behold, the 5-time women's Raw Women's Champion Charlotte Flair has made her way from the red to the blue brand, folks. Charlotte Flair, which has a great pedigree, which is an excellent women's division, and it takes someone like her to come in and to elevate SmackDown's women's division. Their division is, to me, inferior and not as talented as what Raw has, but I felt like having Tamina in, get her a push if she wrestles well, having Charlotte back in here. Charlotte always puts on good matches, and hopefully that will elevate the talent of what's on the SmackDown Women's Division. So welcome the two latest additions to SmackDown Live as well as the Women's Division. Welcome Tamina and welcome Charlotte Flair. So looking to bring that up. Up next, we have the perfect 10 himself, Mr. Ty Dillinger. Good matchup. The crowd was hot for Dillinger. Every time he did the move, they did the 10s for him. I felt like he got a good reception in with his second week in SmackDown Live. It was a good matchup. English began the match off the singing, which was his original gimmick back in NXT. Remember, he was doing that, and then when Simon Gotch got there and signed, they did the whole Vaudevillains gimmick. But now, the past week or so, Simon Gotch was granted his release, so Aiden is kind of back to him on his own again, solo. But needless to say, through the match ends with Ty Dillinger hitting his tie breaker on AJ English and Aiden English, and ends up getting the 1-2-3 pin. Does the perfect 10 as we see. We see Ty Dillinger picking up the win. Great win for him. We come back. We see Dolph Ziggler, and Dolph Ziggler's in the ring cutting a promo, talking about how the fans were getting all these new shiny toys, and he had SmackDown on his back, and it was the brand that he built. And, when the shine wears off, he said he's still going to be there. And, he's going to do what he does better than anybody else. And about that time, all of a sudden, the King of Strong Style, Shinsuke Nakamura appears, folks. Shinsuke comes in and makes his appearance. I'm just a Shinsuke fan, marking out when Shinsuke comes in. Shinsuke comes in, down to the ring. Dolph's just looking at him and like, who are you? I don't even know who you are. And Shinsuke comes to the ring. Shinsuke comes in, and Dolph says, look, I don't even know who you are. Who are you? And he says, oh, you don't know who I am. Oh, I'll forgive you for interrupting me. And so the fans are marking out, chanting Shinsuke Nakamura. They were singing his song while he was in the ring. It was just awesome, awesome. So we see that Nakamura grabs the mic, and he says, my name is Shinsuke Nakamura. And about that time, Ziggler says, okay. And so he goes to walk away, and he goes to do his Sweet Chin Music 2.0, and Shinsuke catches his foot and shakes his head like, oh, no, and then dumps him and throws him backwards, and Dolph is just caught off guard by this, and Shinsuke says, bring it on. Come on if you want to. Bring it on. And Ziggler just stands up, he looks at him, and then he drops down and slides out the bottom rope, and he leaves. So Looks like it's going to be a good feud, and Dolph, I will admit, is a good worker. So Shinsuke, I'm looking forward to seeing Shinsuke in his SmackDown wrestling debut, hopefully next week. But it was a good debut for him, and really Shinsuke, that's all he had to say. He came in, did his thing, said who he was, and then his music came back on, and that was the end of it. So yet again, good appearance by him. You know, Shinsuke's got a little bit of a language barrier that they're going to hopefully try to work through. Vince will, but the man's getting a pop. Fans love Shinsuke. Great addition to SmackDown once again to me. The real A show, as I put on my Facebook. I say SmackDown's the real A show. Anyway, so we go down, and this is the main event. As you see on the screen here, we had the triple threat. Now, this was a good matchup. Each star was hitting spots. A lot of close pinfalls in this matchup. It was like you really didn't know who was going. Was Baron going to slip and get it? All of them were hitting their moves. Pele kicks. You've seen Lupa kicks, Helluva kicks. All these things, Baron Corbin, all these moves on each other. Near pinfalls, and just barely the last second interrupting. But when it comes down to it, Sami Zayn ends up hitting Corbin with a hell of a kick, and then AJ Styles comes up, hits the phenomenal forearm off the top rope, pins Sami Zayn 1, 2, 3, and your number one contender for the U.S. Championship, Mr. AJ Styles. Yes, AJ Styles is your number one contender. Stands in the middle of the ring, posing as the show goes off the air. Awesome show. Superstar Shakeup. I feel like it was really good. You didn't have none of really the tops. I know Raw may have got a little bit more SmackDown than SmackDown did of Raw. Of course, Raw is the bigger show. SmackDown, to me, that was the better show, folks. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like on this video. Subscribe to my channel. I will pump as much as videos out for you. If you're a wrestling fan, I know you're here. If you like politics, I also got political news on my channel. Hope you like that. And anything else, folks, just look at my channel. Drop a like on there. Subscribe to my channel if you're not. Share with other people. Let them subscribe. So this is Bill Mack here, folks, once again with Pro Wrestling Unleashed. Until next time, take it easy. I'm not going yet, folks. Just wanted to make sure I added these in. Welcome these newest additions to SmackDown Live as they were announced tonight on the show. Sorry I didn't include them into it. I was kind of excited with a lot of the appearances and arrivals and those from Raw to SmackDown. It was a really good show tonight. Much better than Raw, and I didn't get these in. And I was like, let me go ahead and make sure everyone knows just a complete shakeup, knowing which superstars that we did get from Raw, as well as those that appeared tonight. And these that did not appear tonight. As we see the other half of Lucha Dragons, Sin Cara is going from the Raw brand to the SmackDown brand. As we seen last night, Kalisto went from SmackDown to Raw, so they crisscrossed each other. And now we welcome Sin Cara as one of the newest additions to the Raw to the SmackDown brand. So congratulations, Sin Cara. Rusev, the Bulgarian Brute. Rusev, of course, great addition. Once the man comes back, make him a monster heel. You're going to have a good SmackDown. I know you can write. I know your creative is going. So push this man. Push him back to be that Bulgarian Brute that he once was and not a laughing stock. And we're going to see a great character return back. So welcome the Bulgarian Brute from the red brand to the blue brand. Hashtag that blue brand. Hashtag SmackDown Live. Rusev. And the great addition is when you get Rusev, you also, there's another addition we get as well. So we have the ravishing Russian Lana joining it. And that's great. And I'm glad to see her making along too. And last but not least, as we started the show, folks, the longest reigning WWE champions, the New Day, because New Day rocks. New Day rocks. Now they're on the SmackDown Live. SmackDown Live. Welcome to the blue brand. We have New Day. Of course, we've seen that Kofi is out with an ankle injury, but it's only just a matter of time before we see Big E, Xavier, and soon Kofi in the blue brand. So welcome, you guys. A great addition to our tag team division. You give it strength. All our additions have been great. I congratulate Shane. I congratulate Daniel for getting strength to these divisions that we sorely needed to have. Sure, we lost some talent with Bray. going over, but that was to be expected. We lost some other ones, but to have our women's division strengthened, our tag team division strengthened, now having another mid-card title with the U.S. title coming to SmackDown, great addition here, folks. So I want to make sure each and every one of you got it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Drop a like, drop a comment if you want, and make sure to forget to subscribe to my channel. So for Pro Wrestling Unleashed, once again, for short of this time, until next time, this is Bill Mack, folks, and I say, take it easy.